It's Friday night, and you know what that means. Time for live wrestling action in front of a hot Portland, Oregon crowd with a few notable surprises. In fact, at the top of the list is the fact that Chris Irvine was there. He was on commentary, and I would have thought, considering the Irvine family knows all about intense, surprising actions on January 6th, that he would have been celebrating with his wife, Jessica Lockhart, Jessica Irvine, whatever the hell name she actually goes by, that un-American, stupid, undeserving to even live twat, decided to go with the mother-in-law and so many other cowards, so many other bigots, so many other pieces of shit, so many other people that are un-American, that are inhuman, decided to try and go and overthrow a legal election just because their choice of candidate lost fair and goddamn square, but because they just can't admit they got taken by a goddamn idiot, a grifter and everything, they decided to try and go and overthrow a legal election. So yeah, I just want to say on the 2-year anniversary of that happening, fuck Chris Irvine for the fact that he donated to that goddamn guy. Yes, he's donated to other good causes, but you know what? He's a goddamn piece of shit. He doesn't believe in science. He likes to yell, ruin wrestling, ruin a whole bunch of other stuff. He decides to basically just show his whole goddamn ass. And also, fuck the goddamn mother for doing that. The stupid mother-in-law, the wife. You know what? The wife should have her kids ripped from her goddamn arms. She should be thrown in jail. Throw the mother-in-law in jail. Throw every goddamn un-American piece of shit that decide to participate in that. Because that's what happens when you decide to break the law. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. So now that I'm off my goddamn soapbox, now that I've hopefully run off every single dumb motherfucker that agreed with anything that piece of shit ever goddamn said, let's get to the reviews, shall we? I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Rampage, their debut in Portland, Oregon. Yay! Portland, Oregon. They certainly brought the goddamn heat. JR Excalibur and the aforementioned Chris Irvine, that piece of shit on commentary, Jericho Anson, the Grand Wizard himself. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he donated to that football player's toy drive. Yeah, great, good. It still doesn't justify the fact that you donated a lot more money to that other piece of shit, but nevertheless, let's be positive. Like Jon Moxley and Bryan Danielson taking on Top Flight, Dante and Darius Martin. A jump start. The crowd loved this right off the bat. They were popping for everything. There was some good action. I think this went a little bit long. I think that I honestly think they could have put a 5th match on this, and it would have made more sense. Because, yes, they gave Top Flight a lot. They're trying to give Top Flight a bit of a push, even in defeat. And, yeah, it was what it was. It went a bit long, but there were some cool dives and a lot of good action. And eventually, the Regal Stretch won it. And the crowd popped big. And, of course, they were going to pop big for Aubrey. They were going to pop big for Bryan Danielson. And it was a good start. It was a pretty good start. And then we get Hangman being all fired up. And he's going to be cleared. And he's going to face Jon Moxley in LA next week. And then Britt and Jamie Hayter took on the Renegade Sisters. The Renegade Sisters have improved since I've seen them on Dark and Dark Elevation. I need Jamie to throw me into a goddamn wall and berate me terribly. Yeah, I have issues. I know that. But Jamie, so happy for her. This split from Britt's got to happen soon, though. Jamie sold well, but also showed some good offense. And eventually, Britt hit the stomp 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match, and the Renegade Sisters had a good showing. House of Black vignette. I don't know why everybody was in one shot and then Buddy and Brody were in a different shot. But then they basically were talking about Eddie Kingston. Eddie, we're here to help you. By the way, the Battle of the Belts review will be on a little bit later after this because, well, I decide I'm just going to split those up. So anyway, because this bled right into Battle of the Belts. Battle of the Belts 5, if man is still alive. So Preston Vance, or whatever the hell they're calling him, I'm just going to call him Vance. I'm just going to call him Vance until they come up with a name that's actually good to pronounce. He took on Sonico. Big pops for Sonico, who has wrestled on the local scene. Met him a few times. He's wrestled at Defy, wrestled at various promotions, defunct and still going. The bell rings and then the bell rings. Sonico got beat and then got his mask taken off, and there you go. Because he hates masks. Because he's Preston Vance. And then recaps of, after Darby's win, we see footage of Renee talking to him, and then Mike Bennett shows up and says, I want to challenge you. That was essentially the gist of the whole thing. And then Darby took on Mike Bennett with Matt Taven and Maria. TV doesn't do Maria justice, good God. I'm so happy for Mike Bennett being featured here in a main event. Crowd loved Darby. Bennett focused on the knee, some good stuff. There was a dive that took out Taven. And Mike focused on the knee. There was a pile driver for 2. There were distractions. Maria pretending, trying to get on, stop the coffin drop, and then when the referee's getting her out of the ring, Taven stopped that, and then we got the pile driver, and then we got a code red, avalanche code red, and then coffin drop 1, 2, 3, and then it bled right into Battle of the Belts. So basically, there you go right there. That's pretty much all I have to say about the show. It was what it was. It wasn't a bad show. It's just Rampage, even live, besides the molten hot crowd, or the pretty hot crowd, there really wasn't a lot to this. The live atmosphere helped, but it was what it was. And by the way, I just want to say here at the end, people might be wondering, oh, why didn't I go to this show? I was able to go to the Seattle show because that's maybe an hour away at the most. Portland, Oregon is about 4 hours away on a good traffic day, and I have to work at some point tomorrow, and I was going to be too goddamn tired. So there you go. Rampage was fine. Fuck the Irvine family and fuck anybody that participated in that stuff, and I don't care. See, that's probably going to be one of the last times that I actually mention that, and then I'm just going to go with just snarky jokes. I decided to say that here. Anyway, agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rickland. I'll see you soon.